Okay, ladies, how to know if you are is dating a mama's boy. All right. So once you discover and find out that you are dating a mama's boy, this is how you can tell this man is a mama's boy. And mama boys are men that you do not really want to date, because really you're going to be like kind of dating two people, because he's always going to be there for his mom, which I'm not like saying that in a bad way, but you're going to always be competing with two people, your man and your man's mom. Okay. Sometimes it's good when a man gets along with his mother, because they say if a man gets along well with his mother, then he will treat a woman well in a relationship, right? Because he's close to his mother. His mother is a female. Okay. So, but sometimes when a man is too close to their mom, it can be a problem when it comes to dating him. Okay. So, the way you can know when you're dating a mama's boy, if he is always talking about his mama. Okay, which is fine. I know a lot of men, if you love your mother, yeah, talk about it. But if he's just over excessively talking about his mom, just like a little bit too much, you're like, okay. And also he calls his mom every day, which is good. He talks to her on the phone. That's great. That's excellent. But a lot of times these mothers will spoil their sons. Okay. I don't know what it is. They will spoil their sons, but they won't spoil the daughters as much as they spoil the sons. And it's crazy, but it's sad, but it's true. So, they do everything together. They're really close. Reason why it's not a good thing to date a mama's boy, once you discover um you're dating a mama's boy, like I said, they will be just too obsessed with their mother. And it can be a good thing and a bad thing. So, anytime you have a problem with your new man and you happen to tell his mother that the things that he's doing, and she just always is like taking um, your man's side, which is her son, um, you're gonna have some problems. So that's a mama's boy. You can tell his mom anything, and she's gonna say, "Oh, I love my son. He's been doing that ever since he was 5. Don't worry about it, girl." And you're like, or if y'all get into an argument or something and you call his mom up, it's actually really the wrong thing to do. Don't do that. Through my past experience when I dated a mama's boy, just learned that the mama was always taking his side. She always gonna take his side. So that's what we don't want. With that being said, the mama is going to show a lot of favoritism towards her son and not you. Okay, that's normal with a mama's boy. She is so like, maybe sometimes the mama boy uh, mother is could be jealous of the fact that her son finally has someone, and she doesn't have him like she normally would, if he wasn't dating anyone. So a lot of times, these mothers be getting jealous if they're real close to their son. They don't want their son to be with, really to nobody that she feels like, if the mother can't trust or whatever, she'd be real picky about who dates her son. And they're very overprotective of their son. And these men can be grown men, like be in their 30. They could be 30, 40, and the mama still treat them like they 5 and 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then also, some of these mothers should really be glad when their son, dates someone, because sometimes the mothers be tired of being, you know, mama's boy, mama. Eventually one day she gets tired, but then some of these mothers, no, they won't. Yeah, those are the signs. Like I said, if he just overly obsessively talk about his mom, they hang out a lot, uh, you know, which is, like I said, is good, and it could be a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm gonna get into a little story time, just a little story time. Okay, so how I had to return back to Cinder, a mama's boy. All right, I was dating a mama's boy, and there I was nice. I'm always normally nice to the men that I date until they show me otherwise. All right, so so this particular mama's boy, I dropped him off back at his mother's house when he got off from work. All right, so this particular person, this goes, I'll take you back to 2010. This goes way back 2010. I was dating this guy. We would say his name was I don't know, Edward. I'm gonna call him Edward. All right, but that's not his real name, but this is the name I'm using for the video. All right, so Edward called me and he was like, you know what, it's time for me to get off work, and I said, okay, I'm on my way. I'll be up there to pick you up, right? So, and with him, he had a lot of seizures, so he couldn't drive. So that's why I know I used to normally sometimes pick him up from work. Okay, so this particular time when he called me, he was just like, "Hey, I'm ready to get off from work. You ready to come pick me up?" I'm like, "Yes, okay, I'm coming. I'm on my way." And he said it real kind of like in a rude way. He was like, "Well, hurry up and don't take so long because my head hurt and I'm feeling sick and I'm feeling good. So hurry up, hurry up." I was like, "What? Who is he talking to?" But see, that's not the first time he had talked to me like that. So I made the umpteenth time and then it broke the straw off the camel's back because I was tired because he was like, being real demanding and, kind of rude a little bit. So I'm like, hurry up, hurry up. So I said, I had enough. So I said, oh, okay. All right, I'm on my way. So I hung that phone up and I went in my bedroom and I grabbed all of his clothes and all of his shoes, all of his belongings, and I put them in the trunk of the car. Okay, I put him in the trunk on the car. So as I was on my way to go pick him up from work, little did he know when he got in the car that all of his stuff was in the trunk, okay, of the car. Because my plan was to pick him up from work and drop him right back off at his mama house, or I'll just return him back to Cinder. So anyway, so I pulls up at his job. I pick him up. He gets in the car, right? He just slop down in the passenger seat. So keep in mind, I had his stuff in the trunk, so that way he wouldn't even see that I had his stuff in the car. So as I'm driving, what was so funny is that he had a hoodie on, so he put his hoodie over his eyes, and he went straight to sleep in the passenger side seat. And I was like, yes. So he had no idea that I was about to drop him off back at his mother's house. He thought we was going back to our place. So that's why he just covered his eyes up and stuff like that. So he had no idea that I was driving to his mom's house. So I pulls up in his mom's front yard, and he thought that we had pulled up at our place, at our apartment. So he took his hoodie off and he opened his eyes and he started looking around. He was like, "Wait a minute, we at my mama's house. What we doing here?" I said, "I'm dropping you back off, because I said, I'm just tired of, not getting treated right, And he got mad, and he was so mad, and he started, fussing and just throwing a fit. So I didn't care. So then here come the mama. She come outside, and she was just like, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing dropping him off?" I said, he don't know how to act, so I'm dropping him off back to you. And it was kind of like the mama was kind of mad that I was dropping him back off. I guess she was like, "Oh man, I thought that, he was going to be with her forever because he get on my nerves. And, I thought I could get rid of him." But that's not what she said to me, but I could just tell, like, wow, because he was a problem child, she told me, when he was growing up. And so she didn't want him back. I'm like, I don't care in my mind, I don't care what you do with him. I return him back to the sender, which is you. You know what I'm saying? And she called herself mad, and then she tried to blame everything on me, why we didn't work out. And I was like, just like a mama's boy taking up for her son, when the whole time it was him that was really being, just being very not nice to me. All right. So I can't talk like how I want to. So that's why one of these days I will let you guys know I'm gonna start a Patreon, and that way I can talk like how I would talk when I tell these story times. Okay, so I'm gonna start me a Patreon really soon, and I will let you guys know. And once I start that Patreon, all the my story times will all be on there, and they won't be PG version, they'll be the the good version. All right, but yeah, that's what it was. Just dropping that person off, that mama's boy off, and at his mama's house. And some of these mothers, yeah, they might be a mama's boy type of mom to their son, but a lot of times these mothers begin aggravated with their sons too as well. Like some of them that that they she wears the title as mama boy, so she really does do that. Some of these mothers, but some of these mothers, they just so wrapped up into their son, it's not funny. And I I've dated a couple of mama's boys, and they didn't work out. So ladies, I'm just here to tell you, once you discover that you dating a mama's boy, it's best to let that person go, because you're gonna be getting into it with the mother, with his mom, and you and his mom may not get along at all. She's always going to take his side, even when he's in the wrong. She's going to take his side. She's not going to really care about you and your feelings. Even if her son is like not treating you right, she'll still like defend and go for bat for her son. That's when you know you're dating a mama's boy. Even if she tries to start arguments with you about how you is not maybe taking care, I mean, not taking care, but not maybe a certain way you're talking to her son, or anything. If she just too overly protective, and then they just too close, I'm sorry ladies, it's not good. I'm sorry, that's a mama's boy, and it's not gonna work. You just need to let him go. All right, so I'm gonna end this video, and know the signs when you're dating a mama's boy. And once you discover and figure out that, wow, I've been dating this guy for like 2-3 months, and I'm finding out that he's a mama boy. Once you find out, return him back to sender. Hopefully he have a car and he can drive. You just tell him to go back to his mama house. And if he don't, then you put him in your car and you drop him back off to the sender. You drop him back off to his mama. Okay, because that's the only person that can deal with him, can tolerate him, and everything else. Because we do not need no mama's boys, because I'm telling you, they will not get you far in a relationship. All right, he will always throw his mama in the mix, and y'all won't have no relationship. And if you do date a mama's boy and continue to stay with a mama's boy, you're really dating him and his mama. So just keep that in mind. All right, so no mama's boys here. Okay, no mama's boys. Okay, all right, so I thank y'all for watching my video. Put out another one. All right, bye.